Good evening to viewers of the program Psychologists Speak. Today we have a new panel of 3 psychologist experts who will be sharing their experiences, helping us to answer the question which have been asked by people, most of the people, and I'm sure their answer will be going to help the viewers in a large. So first of all, without losing time, I will introduce each speaker to the viewers. And the moment I name you people, the speaker, kindly you just raise your hand so that viewer can see you. So first of all, let me introduce Dr. Nimisha Kumar, from senior psychologist from HGT University, Gurgaon. Then other speaker which we have today, panelist is Dr. Sarabjit Kaur from Mata Sundari College, University of Delhi.
Yes.
Third speaker we have with us Dr. Bhavna Baba from Delhi University, with us, a young psychologist. So it's a mixture of very senior psychologist and young psychologists. I'm sure their experience, their knowledge, their intervention is going to help my viewers. So I will put my question, which has been, when I'm putting a question, this is not one question coming from one person. This question basically has been asked by many people. I've just picked up those questions which have been frequently asked. So my first question will go to Dr. Nimisha. Dr. Nimisha, the question goes like this: I don't feel engaged with anything and have lost all interest. Everything seems meaningless to me. What can I do? Dr. Nimisha.
Right. Hello. Basically, what this person is saying is that they feel cut off from the environment. And this actually happens when we are, having a certain sadness or a kind of depression. We are going through that. So the environment loses its reinforcing property. In fact, we don't get reinforcement from the environment. We don't feel connected with the environment. And it sort of becomes like a vicious cycle. Since we don't feel reinforced, we don't feel engaged, so we don't do activities. And the more we withdraw and don't do activities, the more sad and depressed and meaningless we feel. So it becomes like a vicious cycle and we get caught in that. And also the mind questions like, what is happening to me? So basically the solution here is to activate yourself. When we say activate, we mean activate physically as well as mentally. So research has proven that during the day when we are active and doing certain things, the mood and energy levels are higher as opposed to when we are not doing anything. So it is very important to do physical as well as mental activities. And now, there can be a variety of physical and mental ways to engage and activate yourself. And that goes from each person and their environment, what they have at their disposal. So any form of exercise, any form of dance, music, anything physically which will activate you, even a small walk in your own room, and watching certain activity programs which are there all over the television. And mentally, you can do a lot of, mental games like chess, Sudoku, a lot of puzzles and problems. And you can also try and find novelty in your environment. Sometimes when there is boredom that sets in, we have the same routine, we have nothing to look forward to. So it's important to set novelty. So maybe a new menu or a new way of doing things, maybe a little change around in your routine. Also, you can engage in some pro-social and environment-friendly activities. So the key is to activate yourself physically and mentally.
So keep mentally and physically active, and that's the best way of getting out from this kind of notion.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Nimisha. Now, my next question will go to Dr. Sarabjit. Dr. Sarabjit, question goes like that, which has been asked by many middle-aged people, largely as a senior citizen. The question is that if I fall ill or get a heart attack, no doctor will be there to treat me, as they are all busy in handling COVID-19 cases. I feel very anxious the moment I get this kind of thought. How, as a psychologist, Dr. Sarabjit, you can help the patient?
Good evening, sir, and good evening to everyone. First, I would like to thank sir for giving me this wonderful opportunity to participate in this esteemed panel discussion. Now I will answer the question. Let me clarify that emergency services at every hospital is open, my suggestion is that you try to change your negative thoughts to the positive ones.
Very good, very
Because
good.
because negative thoughts lead to negative feelings, which in turn is affecting your behavior adversely, and it is lowering your immunity as well and increasing your chances of contracting the disease even more. So remain calm and try to be positive. So as Nimisha has suggested, you can do yoga, meditation, deep breathing exercises, and any other form of indoor exercise, whatever you will feel like. Just make sure you get some sort of physical exercise every day. Your brain gets more oxygen during deep breathing exercises. It calms your mind and it activates the parasympathetic nervous system, which controls your blood pressure and pulse rate. So
Very
if you
good
have
point.
a
Very good
balcony,
point. Yeah.
terrace, garden, or any other open space, go out and try to get some fresh air and sunlight every day. Another suggestion is that take your medicines on time as prescribed by your doctor. Eat nutritious food full of proteins, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and keep your salt and sugar intake to a minimum. Avoid junk food. It's not only lower your immunity, but it also has a negative impact on your physical as well as on your mental health. So sleep at least 7 to 8 hours daily. You will not get a heart attack. Be happy and stay healthy.
Very optimistic message coming from Dr. Sarabjit. Basically, change your negative thought to positive thing, keep yourself engaged and keep on doing, have fresh air and other kind of, get engaged, have a routine. They're very good points. Now I will go to my third panelist, Dr. Bhavna Baba. Dr. Bhavna, the question goes like this: why did this happen? This year has been exceptionally bad. Is the world coming to an end? That's the worry of my viewer. Dr. Bhavna.
Yes, sir. So I would like to say that to begin with, it is important to remember that we're all in this together. In fact, during these times, it is also important to understand that many of us are actually more fortunate than the others. So the best thing we can do to deal with various disappointments that we are going through at this point of time is to have, is to practice gratitude. That is to remember our blessings, to count our blessings.
Okay.
Furthermore, now it is time to introspect and find out reasons for our own failures, if any.
Okay.
It is time for us to rebuild ourselves emotionally, intellectually, as well as physically. Otherwise, in the hustle bustle of everyday life, we often do not get the opportunity to look inwards. As to the future, to question it, this is not the right time. Let's remember that this time we should work towards controlling the controllable and not allow anxiety to obstruct our thought processes.
Okay. That's a good point. It's introspection and gratitude. This is a very nice point you have given to the viewer. I'm sure this will going to help Bhavna to my viewers. Well, next my question will go to my panelist, Dr. Nimisha. Dr. Nimisha, question goes like this: my mind is totally blank. The person says, my mind is totally blank. I'm unable to plan anything. As psychologists say, keep planning. Say, I'm unable to plan anything or make decisions. Okay. I just feel like lying down all the time. As a psychologist, Dr. Nimisha, can you help, as you are clinical psychologist, how you can help the client like this?
Yes, sir. Again, I would say that this person is going through a little bit of a sad phase and a little low feeling, as well as being overwhelmed. So it is actually a stress response. When our mind feels overwhelmed, it feels like shutting down, everything goes blank around us, and we cannot make sense of things. We don't know what to do, and the easiest thing is just to go and, escape, just lie down. So lying down is a form of escape, so that I don't have to face with the life's problems, but you have to remember that there is always light at the other end of the tunnel, and it is not the end of the world. It is not the end of things. So it is just a momentary setback, and that is what has to be reminded. And it is during setback that the person has to prepare themselves. if you are in a state of psychological preparedness and hardness, and if you have like a inoculation, stress inoculation, you will be ready to face the world as and when things get back to normal, and they definitely will. So the most important thing is to establish a sense of coherence and stability that we can have by having as normal a routine as possible. So try and we say do a number of pleasure related activities as well as a number of achievement related activities. So when you say pleasure related activities, these are activities which give you a sense of entertainment, enjoyment.
Okay.
When we say achievement related activities, they give you a sense of accomplishment, of productivity. So if you plan pleasure and achievement activities throughout your day, you will have something to look forward to. You will keep extremely busy, and these negative thoughts and this impending sense of doom is not going to bother you. It is just a momentary feeling. Everybody goes through that. It is quite normal. There is nothing to really worry about it, and do a lot of deep breathing, like Sarabjit ma'am said, and deep breathing, as well as there is something which we call grounding. So grounding means be in the present moment, practice a lot of sensory focus, activate all your five senses, remind yourself that I'm sitting here, what am I doing, what's all around me, what's going on, recall old times. Sometimes it's good to even see old photographs and pictures, and again keep as busy as possible.
Very good. Accomplishment, achievement, the very good 2 points you brought into that. I think this is going to intervention going to help. I'm very sure my viewer will be benefited by it. Now I will move to my panelist, Dr. Sarabjit. Dr. Sarabjit, the question goes like this. All family members have been at home since lockdown for 24 hours. I'm getting extremely irritable seeing their faces all the time around me. I'm craving for my own space or to go out into the open. My personal space basically is taken by others, when I see them all around them. I feel suffocated. Please kindly, I'm saying with folded hand to Dr. Sarabjit, kindly help my viewers.
Yes, sir. My suggestion is that do something creative, read, write, paint, cook, or whatever you enjoy doing. But try to engage in some sort of activity, not only just physical, but also mental, so that you retain your sanity through this uncertain time. Try to take up a new hobby or learn a new skill, anything which will help you in making a set schedule, and then try to stick on that schedule. Wake up every day on same time, and as if you are going to a college or a office, get ready. And you can even, if you are a student, you can even take up an online course on any subject of your interest and learn a new language also. There are a lot of online courses by reputed universities which are free of cost. So there is so much you can do. The key is to keep yourself busy in a set schedule so that you don't fall in the trap of waking up late, spending all the day in your pajama in bed, surfing the net or social media or Netflixing for hours. So this will only increase your negative feelings such as constant irritation, agitated behavior, feelings of depression, getting angry at the slightest of thing. So do this, I'm sure you will not get suffocated at home.
Great, great. Thank you, Dr. Sarabjit. Now I will go to Dr. Bhavna. I know, Dr. Bhavna, you have worked so much for many, many years in the areas of trans abuse. So the question goes to you. I think the right question goes to you. How to tackle the problem of increased intake of alcohol during lockdown? Many people start taking, the complaint is coming, some alcohol is not available, then they're using other kind of byproduct which can give them the kick like alcohol. So can you tell how they can handle this problem of increased intake during the, because 24 hours they are at home? Dr. Bhavna.
Absolutely. To begin with, I'd like to create a distinction between addiction and substance abuse. If you're addicted to alcohol, I would recommend, please, this is the right time. Start taking counseling over the phone and stick to it. It will help you. You can leave alcohol and you must. Coming to substance abuse, people are turning to alcohol during the lockdown in order to find a source of entertainment, to pass their time. Furthermore, they're veiled from the society's prying eyes, so they have all the more reasons to indulge in. alcohol abuse. So I'd like to give some tips. These tips have already been discussed during this panel discussion. So I would just like to repeat them very quickly. One is to practice mindfulness exercise.
Good.
The other is to inculcate a hobby. This will give you a creative high rather than a useless alcohol high.
Okay.
Thirdly, you should dedicate a separate space for your work so that there's a sense of responsibility and respect for that space. So that at least when you're indulging in work activities, you do not use alcohol to pass your time. And lastly, a schedule would help you structure uncertainties and avoid alcohol in order to deal with anxiety. So back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Bhavna. I think the tips, points, which you picked up again one by one, I think going to help my viewers very well. Now, my question will go to Dr. Nimisha. Dr. Nimisha, question like this, which is very, very common question of many people and happening. And you may be having many people in your own circle also. I know many people in my own circle also. Even on my, if I take my example, I also have this kind of feeling sometime, But then as a psychologist, I have overcome. So I would like to ask you the question like those. I have not been able to meet my parents or children ever since the lockdown. They are in a different city or different country, whatever. I miss them terribly, my parents and children, and worry for their safety and well-being. I'm extremely restless due to this. What should I do to overcome this restless? How I can overcome my worry, Dr. Nimisha?
Right. So actually, these people are the opposite of the ones who are fed up with seeing everybody around. So it's just to prove that human beings are never happy. They are never happy with what they have.
Yeah.
Right. So there are two things to this. One is to understand why you're feeling like this and to explore what is it that you're actually missing. Is it that you're missing their company? Is it that you're just missing them, having them around in space? What is it that's bothering you? And then the number two thing is to do something about it. So these days, technology is at our disposal and it is a boon.
Yeah.
So through video conferencing, through telephone, we can be together all the time.
Or the way we are
absolutely. So we know of absolutely, sir. So I know entire families who are celebrating birthdays and everything on Zoom and a lot of other apps. The entire family is there. So maybe this person needs to kind of become more aware of the technology that is available, and it's quite user friendly. It's easy to use. Also, you can plan certain collective quality time. So what you can ask your parents or children to do is to log on at the same time as you. You can even practice certain fitness rituals. You can practice eating, like what have I cooked today? So you show them and you share, and similarly they do that kind of thing. You can speak to your grandchildren. You can actually, do things together at that time. You can even meditate together as a family. You can talk about past experiences that you've had, happy memories that you have had, right? And you need to remind yourself that this state is not going to be there forever. Maybe you were caught at the wrong time during lockdown, and it is not going to continue forever. So you can plan for the future. You can plan to meet up and what all you're going to do when you're together. So happy memories, and just checking your negative emotions and thinking, what is it that's actually bothering you? So I would suggest that it's not such a difficult time that you're alone. The technology can definitely come to your service and can save you from this loneliness.
Recently, let me add, in the recently I've seen on the television news, they have shown there was virtual marriage when the boy was in another city and the girl was in another city, and there was virtual marriage also over there, and they have all kind of prayers, religious prayers, everything has been performed properly.
So it's just a matter of perspective, sir. Just perspective.
Right.
Yeah.
Just a matter of perspective, and this is not going to last for a very long time. It's a temporary phase,
So we need to contain, contain the negative feeling.
Yeah. And have a positive mindset. You think in positively, the better side of the picture will definitely going to come. Thank you. I think this is your question. I'm very sure there are a large number of viewers have asked this question to me on telephone counseling, as well as they send me the email, and you very well have answered the question by all panelists. No, I will go to the my last part of the program, where I would like to know. First of all, I asked Dr. Bhavna Baba, as you have been handling with the student these days in your university, and this question I think apt for you. Similarly, apt I know for the other my panelists also, they are also teaching in their respective universities. And I want to know, Dr. Bhavna, any 2 or 3 advices which you would like to give to the student during the lockdown time. Dr. Bhavna.
Absolutely, sir. Absolutely. So as far as I've understood from my students, since young adults are used to staying outside the house, spending time with their friends all the time, they're having a difficult time staying in and having to deal with their parents the entire day. So I would like to give 2 suggestions to them. One is to chalk out a routine. This will give indication to your parents as to when they can talk to you and when they cannot talk to you, when they need to give you space and when they don't, they can come and assign you chores, for example. Secondly, this is the time to reconnect with your parents and grandparents, completely redefine your relationship with them. And this you can do by sitting with them and listening to anecdotes, old stories, how they got married, how they got together. So enjoy this time.
Yeah. In the sense, you are fortunate you have the parents, or by way of the grandparents also staying, you know. You are really
Absolutely.
fortunate in today's time, today's fast life, that you got the opportunity, you get story, information from them, which is not written in books, you know, which coming from generation to generation, and that richness you can have, which can really help you shaping. Take the advantage during the lockdown time. This is the advantage for the student. Continue the study, online studying, read material at the same time, take the advantage of the situation which has been created due to lockdown time. And this is not going to stay very long, as Nimsha said. Will definitely will go. So take advantage, you know, then it's not that at the end you repent and, oh, why I'm not taking that advantage. Now, my next question will go to Dr. Sarabji. I know she had worked in the area of aging for a doctorate, a PhD in that area of the senior citizen, Maintenance and Welfare Act which are made by the government of central government and the Delhi government also after that. And
Yes.
so, Dr. Sarvajit, I would like to ask from you, what advice, 2 or 3 advice you would like to give, especially to the senior citizen as a psychologist?
Yes. Yes, sir. So elderly people, they are actually at a high risk of not only contracting the virus, but also there is a high morbidity rate among them. So this is because as we age, we experience a gradual deterioration of immune system that make them hard to fight off any infection. And also due to the underlying health issues like blood pressure, diabetes, heart and lung disease, the virus results in severe respiratory complications among the elderly. So first suggestion is to do some sort of meditation or deep breathing exercises. Wash or sanitize your hands regularly. Make sure that your room is clean and disinfectant regularly. Second suggestion is to stay connected to your friends, family members through phone, mail, video call, because talking to people about your feelings and worries helps you to be free from unnecessary anxiety, stress, or depression. Last but not the least, stay inside your home, stay safe. Good time will definitely come. Let's all fight against coronavirus.
Thank you, Dr. Sarvajit. I'm sure my senior citizen community will going to follow these guidelines which you have suggested to them. And next my question will go to Dr. Nimisha. Dr. Nimisha, yesterday this question I picked up because this was asked by earlier also to me, but yesterday I had given a webinar to the Aurobindo College, which was attended by many people, not only Aurobindo College, and I found the people from Pune, Karnal, Rajasthan, and there were about 31 districts people attended that webinar. Webinar was on the maintaining mental and physical health during the lockdown period. And one of the viewer asked me a question which I thought you are the right person to answer. This question came from the perspective of a business community. The business community is finding it very difficult. And one of the person asked me in that group that their workers, no, they are finding it very difficult to pay to the worker because the business is stopped. Ultimately, the workers are to be paid because they are the poor people, they don't have the money. And how to handle it, how do I can counsel them, how can I can talk with them. Keeping that in mind, can you give Dr. Nimisha 2-3 advices to the business community specifically how they should go ahead with, how they should manage things during this lockdown time? Dr. Nimisha.
Right. So actually, the thing is that this condition which is going on right now, after the physical threat, the next important threat is the economic threat. And everybody has been talking about it. If you continue the lockdown, then you lose out on the money. If you don't continue with the lockdown, you lose lives. So how do you balance this out? So anybody with a small business or a big business, I would just suggest that you first take stock of what all are your costs and what are your profits. I mean, what are you losing on and what actually you are just catastrophizing. I mean, sometimes when you hear other people's stories and you hear everything on media, you sort of catastrophize. So you need to take stock first. So what is it that's actually going wrong in your business? Or is it that you are just worried because your savings have finished, or you are just thinking that next month I will not be able to pay the employees? So actually, what is it that's bothering you? Then you need to do some problem solving. You need to find out your sources of support. So it's that the government is also planning to support MSMEs and a lot of business community. So you need to find out actually where you can get help from, who are the people or the government agencies that you can access. Also, there is now this distinction between essential items and non-essential items. So some of the business people can diversify. You can encourage employees to think innovatively. You can actually think what your business, how it can contribute to the essential items, or how it can contribute to the need which is there in the country right now. And also you need to constantly counsel and be in touch with your employees so they don't feel a sense of that you have left them in bad times. And also it is never really as bad as it seems. So it is more of the catastrophizing, and you need to stop the catastrophizing, do strategizing, right? And again, you need to remember that this will not continue forever. And Western people, what they do is they earn and they spend everything. But Indians are used to saving money. So as our saving keeps getting spent, we get anxious. So it's not that you are totally out of money and you will have nothing to eat tomorrow. It's only maybe that your saving or your stocks have begun to be exhausted. So you need to take reality check on the situation, that what is it? Am I just catastrophizing, or is it actually that bad or not? And most people realize that actually it's not so bad and there are support available. So it is not again the end of the world.
Thank you, Dr. Nimisha. All my panelists are giving very good points. I also add my points on that. The one thing which I would like to tell to my viewers, which I've been talking very often, that you should have a very strong social support network. Networking is a very essential thing. And it's very simple. I request all my viewers, please, just when you get up in the morning, every one of you having mobile phones in your hand, you are paid for that. You can make even 1,000 calls in a day. It's not going to cost you at all, entire country. Please make it a point. You make a call every day in the morning, in the entire day, at least to 10 people. Just talk with them. Don't talk with them about the COVID-19 or crisis. Talk whatever you feel like talking. Maybe film, maybe food, what you cook, maybe what you learn it, whatever your mom, your dad have made, whatever your grandfather had made at the home, whether you have played a Ludo game, just talk with them, at least 10 people. And out of the 10 people, try to find at least 2-3 people, such people with whom you have not talked for, say, for last 3 months or 6 months or 1 year. And also, further, I would say, you try to request them if they can also call 1 or 2 people during the day. You just follow this. This is a very good strategy. I tell you, it works. I've done with many, many people, and response was very positive. Second thing which I would like to discuss, that have your schedule, which my panelists have told. Make your planning schedule in a proper way and start with that. So as Dr. Sarabjit also said, that it's not that you remain lethargic in the house, in the morning you get up late. You get up the time you used to get up earlier, dress up yourself, take bath, clean everything, like you're working from home, but work like you're working at your office. It's your only office. I move from there to the home. Just keep that in mind also. And then, well, all the three my panelists said, be optimistic. Be optimistic. This situation not going to last for a very long time. This situation will go, definitely will go. This I can say. It might go by the end of May or June or July, but definitely will go. It's going down. The curve is getting flattened, and you have the lot of strength, the resistance. Indians are very powerful that way. हम कहते हैं इंडियन के बारे में, हम तो पत्थर भी हजम कर लेते हैं, तो फिर कोरोना क्या करेगा हमारे लिए? This is very common thing. पत्थर हजम, that will be that strong, and keep that in mind. I'm sure going to help you. And here I will close by saying thanks to all my panelists. They are given a wonderful. I really enjoyed this discussion. I'm sure my panelists will also join. But apart from that, more importantly, my viewers. It's a viewer, I'm sure will be benefited, must have enjoyed it. And viewer, I promise on behalf of my panelists, this is not the end. I will again call them, request them to spare the time with us. They're always available coming forward. And then I will call them. There are many more questions out there, I know. I could not ask due to limitation time. But those questions I'm going to ask you in my next panel. We might have 2 days, 5 days, and we will definitely keep on putting the panels. And viewers, kindly keep on watching on my YouTube channel. And not only that, kindly share that with your friends, networks. Ask them to subscribe it so that it can reach to the large audience. With this, I will say good evening to all my panelists, Dr. Nimisha, Dr. Sarabjit, and Dr. Bhavna, and stay safe and be healthy. Definitely we will come back. Thanks for your time and energy given to us. Thank you. I will close the
Sir. Thank you so
Good night,
much.
sir.
Good night,
Good
sir.
night.
Thank you.
Thank you.